I'm going to explain your homework for week 2. This project is the start of the work we'll be doing for the whole semester. And the idea is we're going to build a business based on a business idea that you have. And our goal here is to avoid one of the biggest obstacles that you will face as a product manager, which is solution bias. Solution bias is that as innovators, we often fall in love with our solutions, the tools, the product we're going to build, and you shoehorn that amazing idea you have for a solution, for a product, for a tool, onto the problem and the users. So we really need to avoid that, because that leads to a huge amount of bad decision making. So in this exercise and throughout this semester, we're going to focus on the problem and on the people that have that problem and how we can help those people solve that problem by becoming better at whatever it is we're trying to help them with. So we're going to start by thinking about a unique value proposition. How are we going to help someone become better at something? And this is the start of your homework, is to come up with a problem statement, including a unique value proposition. How are you going to help someone become better at something in 100 words or less? So that's part 1 of the homework. And there's a blog post here by Ash Maurya, which talks a bit more about avoiding the innovator's bias for the solution by focusing on helping your users become better at something. So that's step 1. Step 2 is we're going to create proto-personas and empathy maps. You're going to create 2 proto-personas and 2 empathy maps. What are proto-personas? What are empathy maps? I'll explain that. First of all, though, a bit of context. Why are we doing this? We're doing this so we can better understand and empathize with our users. We want to make our assumptions and knowledge about our users explicit. We want to give the team a common language that we all share to talk meaningfully about our users. And in order to do this, we're going to sketch out a proto-persona and their needs, and think about what it's like to be that person. In the how section of this slide, this is how we would normally do it, working in teams, and you're going to do this in your groups. But for this homework, I want you to do this on your own initially for your own business idea. So start with proto-personas. What is a proto-persona? Very simply, you get a plain bit of paper and you divide it into 4, and then in a few minutes, you should try and do this in 5 minutes or so. Top left, draw a little sketch of them and their name. Top right, behavioral demographic information. Bottom left, their pain points and their needs, and 4 potential solutions. So here's a very simple example. In the top left, Susan, 32 years old, from New York City. She's a working mum. Biographical information: she's married, she's got 2 kids, aged 5 and 9. She works long days as a lawyer. Her husband works at home. She values time with her family. Bottom left, her needs: she doesn't know what her kids do at school. She's too busy to help, and there's no communication with the teacher. And the bottom right are some ideas for how we can help her become better at this particular problem: enabling good conversation with her kids, making it easier to reach the teacher. So I want you to create 2 of these, and these are 2 people who you could potentially help become better. 2 people who have this problem that you're focused on, that you could help become better. And then once you've built your proto-personas, you're going to build empathy maps. So the empathy map, you put yourself in the mind of this person that you've defined in the proto-persona, and you think about what it's like to be them in the context of solving this particular problem, which is your UVP. So just not generally day in the life, in the context particularly of solving this problem, that's your UVP. So you're going to start with the goals section at the top in grey by defining who will be the subject of the empathy map, which you have from your proto-persona, and a goal, something they need to do. This should be framed in terms of an observable behaviour, something they need to do, an observable behaviour. And again, this will derive from your UVP. Once you've clarified the goal, you're going to work your way around the canvas clockwise. So start with seeing, saying, doing, and hearing. The reason for this is that the process of focusing on observable phenomena, things that they see, things that they do, things that they hear, is like walking in their shoes. It gives you a chance to imagine what their experience might be like, to give us a sense of what it feels like to be them. And then once you've gone around the outside, then you focus on what's going on inside their head. That head in the center is one of the most important aspects of the map's design. The whole idea is to imagine what it's like being inside someone's head, and that's the main power of the exercise. So you can fill this in either by creating a PowerPoint slide and overlaying bullets on top. You can create a Word doc, Google doc with the title of each section and bullets underneath. You can use a spreadsheet, create a Google Sheet with rows for each section. Doesn't really matter how you do it. You will submit it in B courses though, so make sure you submit that in B courses. It's due on Sunday night. Any questions, as always, contact me or Baraka.